So I'm at the Fuji Speedway on invitation by Lexus to drive a Lexus that has a steering wheel that looks like a Formula One steering wheel. But this is not a Formula One steering wheel. This is Steer-by-Wire, a new technology that is being introduced with this, the new Lexus RZ. And this car is likely to come to India. So I'm going to tell you a lot about the car. But first, I'm going to drive and see how steer-by-wire feels compared to the usual steering systems that we've experienced so far. Let's first talk about the RZ450e. It is the Lexus version of the Toyota BRZ, meaning it is a low-slung crossover that rivals the likes of the Mercedes-Benz GLB or EQB. It ups the ante over the Toyota sibling and blends the renowned luxury of the Lexus brand with eco-conscious innovation. Design-wise, it boasts of a sleek, aerodynamic profile with signature Lexus design elements like the bold spindle grille and the intricate LED lighting in the front and the rear. It has a distinctive form that also gives it exclusivity. The interior is equally impressive, featuring high-quality materials, comfortable seating, and a modern, tech-forward cabin. That said, the boot should have been bigger, and the rear seating space could have been marginally better. I also feel Lexus should consider making a long wheelbase version of this good-looking car. And something like that could make perfect sense for India too. Nevertheless, the RZ maintains a sophisticated and contemporary appearance both inside and out, typical to a Lexus. Under the hood, the RZ450e offers a potent electric powertrain featuring a 71 kWh battery pack, which promises a range of around 400 kilometers, which is short for today's times. But if you heard carefully, then you heard that right. This is the first all-electric Lexus. No hybrid, fully electric. It has a battery of about 71 kilowatt-hour capacity, and you also get a dual motor setup with this. So acceleration is brisk, you get all-wheel drive, you get a 150 kilowatt motor in the front, 80 kilowatt motor in the rear. But you know what's important? The car feels nice and light. It doesn't feel too heavy. This is running some really big batteries, but it doesn't feel heavy at all. I'm driving around some really tight sections right now. Let me show you that. And it just feels nice and light. It's so easy to maneuver. Now this one is running the standard electronic power steering. We are going to be sampling the other steer-by-wire. So apart from the shape, the first thing that you will notice when you get behind this wheel is that it feels very light because there is no shaft. There is absolutely no shaft. This steering is sending data to a computer, and then the computer is doing the actual steering. How quick that is something that I'm going to find out on the track. But yeah, the first feeling is it just feels absolutely light. Very much like the computer or the PlayStation steering wheel systems that we have for our racing simulations. It feels very much like that. So if you know that feeling, you will instantly feel this to be a very natural feeling steering in that sense. It's just the different shape, of course. And in terms of the layout and everything, I mean, it has its steering mounted controls, it has all the switch gear. So getting used to this is not going to be very difficult. But I'm really intrigued to find out how it actually performs out on the road. So let's waste no time. Let's take a look and see what this feels like. The first impression is that it feels ultra precise. Like I said, the feeling, the feedback is very much like a video game steering controller. There's no force feedback though, if you know what I mean, but I think even that will be engineered soon to add more feel to the steering system. You see, traditionally, cars use a mechanical steering linkage between the steering wheel and the front wheels that translates driver input into physical movement. However, this has limitations such as imprecise feedback, heavy steering, sometimes too light a steering, and vulnerability to road imperfections, something that we keep complaining about every now and then. Steer-by-wire, however, overcomes these issues by replacing the mechanical connections with electronic signals, much like a video game controller. It is very artificial. It will definitely need getting used to. Like a regular electronic power steering, here the data is being fed to a computer. The computer is also reading your speed, it's also reading your accelerator position, it's also reading the angle of the vehicle. All these kind of data points are being read, and accordingly the steering angle is being decided. So like I said, there is that artificial feeling to it because there is a lot of AI at work here. The system uses sensors and actuators to relay driver inputs to the wheels electronically, eliminating play, delay, and slack in the steering mechanism. This results in a more immediate and accurate response, enhancing vehicle control and maneuverability. But it just takes the stress away completely. I mean, there are some really tight sections that we are driving on, and compared to the standard EPS, this one just feels amazingly agile. Furthermore, because it doesn't use a traditional steering column anymore, there is significant weight reduction, it improves efficiency, there's lesser mechanical wear, and there's also more room for the designers to play around with the cabin layout. This system is going to have its advantages in multiple scenarios when they develop it further. Even in something like off-road vehicles, it's going to have a lot of advantages because there is no kickback, right? There is no kickback from the steering. Having gathered data for years now from traditional steering systems, the computers know exactly how much steering input is needed for which scenario. So it will potentially eliminate kickback on off-road driving or alter precision, weight and feel for enthusiastic driving, highway cruising, city commuting, etc. The steering is a lot more customizable in that sense, all in just one car. It's a very surreal experience in that sense, but I quite like where it's headed, especially for the newer generation of drivers who are going to be well versed with video games, who are probably going to be well versed with video game controllers, video game steering controllers. They're going to feel absolutely at home driving this. The learning curve is not going to be too tall for them. It's for traditional drivers like us who will probably have a slightly steeper learning curve. But then we are at a track, we have switchbacks here, and the steering, I mean, by the third lap already, it's starting to feel easy. Some drivers may be initially hesitant about the technology's reliability and resilience, especially in extreme conditions. In the event of a malfunction, however, redundant systems ensure that the driver can maintain control of this vehicle, hence Lexus. Additionally, the technology facilitates the integration of advanced driver assistance systems, contributing to safer driving experiences. Steer-by-Wire is a forward-looking technology then that also aligns with the industry's shift towards autonomous driving. There is no torque steer, there is no kickback of any kind, there is no vague at center feeling, none of that. It's all gone. It's all going to be history when steering-by-wire takes over. So yeah, as a technology, sounds very promising. And even last-minute corrections if you have to make any. It's all quick. And in tight spaces, like I said, because it's reading multiple data points, it just also almost mimics the effects of a rear wheel steering. So even the turning radius and everything just feels so easy. Welcome to the future. In a nutshell then, Steer-by-Wire could redefine how a car feels in our hands while offering a driving experience that seamlessly combines precision, safety and comfort. I'm still not able to wrap around my head whether or not I like this technology because I'm still more mechanically inclined. But I would like to know, what are your thoughts? Do let us know in the comments below.